Do you ever find yourself wondering what to do with small stamps? Today I've got the most beautiful little set. It's called the Simple Flowers add-on and it has a set of coordinating dies as well, and I thought I'd give you a couple of easy ideas to make some really pretty floral cards. Welcome back. It's time for another take two with Therese, and I've got this beautiful little stamp set, and I know that some people get a little bit intimidated with these little stamp sets and struggle to get ideas, so I thought I'd share two different cards with you today using the same products and just give you some tips along the way. One of the things that I love about these little stamp sets is that they are so affordable and really versatile. So this one's a Simple Flowers add-on, and it is an add-on set. It does go with the Simple Flowers set, but it certainly works just as well on its own independently on a card, as I'll show you here today. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually batch stamping all of my floral images. So that just means I'm creating lots of flowers all at once. I can just turn my cardstock around, choose some nice bright colors, and then start stamping them out. I have spaced my flowers far enough apart that I'm going to be able to fit the dies around them all in one go. That means that I will not have to keep running my cardstocks back and through the die cutting machine each time just to cut one flower. This would have taken such a long time to do that. Now I will link all of the colors that I've used today both at the blog post and in the video description below, where it says show more. All you need to do is click on that and you'll be able to find all the supplies that I've used. Now this coordinating die set has every part of the flower, including the leaves and the stems, actually in the die set as well, which is just great. But what I did here was stamped all the floral images first, so all my pinks and my red flowers, I stamped all those out first, and once I'd managed to die cut all those, I used my scrap pieces of paper here to stamp out the leaves. I mean, I could have stamped these just as easily before I did the original die cutting. It's 6 of one, half a dozen of another. Whatever suits you and whatever you find works quickest for you, because there is a lot of stamping and die cutting, and the Misty really comes into its own here. I chose some nice bright greens as well. You might have noticed that I've gone very bright and cheerful today. I just felt like I was in need of a bit of cheer, and these colors really do make me happy. Anything, you probably already know that. Bright colors always make me happy. Now there's a few different ways that I like to use smaller stamps. Obviously a really clean and simple design works really well. Another thing, which I'm going to show you today, another thing is to create patterns in a background, and I did consider doing that today as well, but I then decided that it'd be fun to make a wreath. Now if only it were that quick. I thought I should share the process, but if you are happy with the snap of the fingers and it all comes together, I say go with that. I've got a background panel here. I wanted to create like a pale teal color, and I didn't have any cardstock to match, and I've got the alternate ink blending tool here, and there was no way before I had this tool that I would have been able to get this smooth a background. No, and this is on Nina. It's the 80-pound Nina cardstock, and the colors I used there were the Dewdrops and the Aqualicious. So now I'm working on my sentiment, and I've got the Hello and Hugs stamp and coordinating die set. I've white heat embossed a sub sentiment onto some black cardstock and die cut that out with one of the featured sentiments dies. And now I wasn't really sure what color to do the big word hello, but I did know that I wanted to cut it out, die cut it out with the wider portion of the die. So to do this, I cut myself a template from some scrap cardstock and just taped that piece of cardstock and the die in place, and then I was able to run that through my die cutting machine. And I know that the alignment is going to work out perfectly by doing it this way. Otherwise I would have been kind of guessing where the word hello was. And we've all done that before. To create my wreath, I did kind of add a few different layers. I like to add dimension to my cards, but you could certainly keep this flat. I have used some of the foam tape as well as some of the glue tape runner and just sort of layered up and eyeballed my wreath. I did hold the hello die cut in the middle just to give me an idea of how big I needed it. And then I was able to come in at the end and add a few of those little dots, and that just helped me make it more into a circle. So here's where I needed your help. I wasn't sure if I wanted the red, and then I thought no. And then I thought the teal, green, blue. I don't mind this one. I think it looks all right. But then when I added my black sentiment, no. So I chose the black in the end, but I'd like to know which one you liked the best. Was it the black one, or should I have stuck with the green and maybe changed my sentiment, my sub-sentiment, to white cardstock? Anyway, let me know in the comments below what you think. What looked best? Because when in doubt, I will always go for the black sentiment, and I have been trying not to do that so much lately. But it is only paper. I can always make another one. And I popped up both this and the sub-sentiment with the foam tape. So you wouldn't even know that that background cardstock was blended. It's so smooth. I'm very proud of it. My second card, which I think is an awesome way to use these small images on a card, is just to make a real clean and simple impact card. And I think this particular card style lends itself to, say, you know, like a save the date card, or even a wedding card, or thank you, a simple thank you. Just because to me it kind of ended up looking a bit like a bouquet. And I did add some dimension here, but not a lot. And I was originally going to put the leaves down on the stems of the flowers, and changed my mind and totally love the look of them up in the bouquet itself. I added a simple sentiment just with some obsidian black ink, held my breath, and stamped it out on a block. I know, right? Old school. And this is from the Paint a Flower set, the anemone one. I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial, and if you did like today's video, please click on the thumbs up button. Don't forget that all the links will be below and at the blog. Come over and say good day. I appreciate every visit that you make. Till next time, bye.